Hi, my name is Ludas Butkus, and in this episode of What to Hodl, I want to do a review of CardStack. This is a very interesting project. I watched their intro video and got hooked on the idea, though it is kind of hard to comprehend, and I had to read the whole white paper to understand fully what they are planning to build over here. I think this ICO isn't that much hyped in the community of cryptocurrencies, but it is definitely a unique one, and I think there's huge potential for this project to really grow big. It's definitely not something that I have seen that someone is already working on. So I will try to summarize the idea of the project. If the information I provide in this video doesn't seem enough for you to understand the project, do watch the intro video, though it is quite long and it still leaves a lot of information gaps, well, at least for me. So if you would want to understand the project fully, I definitely recommend to watching this video, which is an hour long, by their CEO. They did a whole overview of the project. So that being said, let's dive into what is CardStack and what they are working on and are planning in the future to build. So CardStack, well, let's take a step back. So right now we have applications on our desktops or on our phones, and these are single types of applications. For example, we have a messaging app, we have an app for for storage like Dropbox or something like that. But okay, so we also have cloud applications. And there is Microsoft Azure, where you can subscribe to them and get different services from the cloud. And there's also now a third layer of applications that are decentralized apps. So like SIA for decentralized storage, Golem, BAT, and other emerging decentralized applications. And for a regular user, for example, in your business, you might need storage. If you are a savvy user, you might decide to use decentralized storage service like SIA. But if you're not, you're using Dropbox, then you need some type of messaging. Maybe you're using Slack, or you're just using a regular Facebook for communication, their messenger. And you need to go through all these different layers and as they say, orchestrate your own workflow through all these layers. I'm not sure if they have a good illustration over here. And no, they don't. There was some better ones in the white paper. But overall, you either need a subscription to some cloud services, or either need licenses to some applications, and you need to orchestrate that whole workflow process. CardStack is a layer on top of all of these. So on CardStack, you will have a single card that, for example, is for messaging. And within that, there can be different types of applications, different types of code that gets into that application. User verification, the main messaging app, again, storage for storing all the data, and different types of apps or different types of chunks of code can be built up into a single card and basically into a single app that a user sees. So it's a very interesting concept. It's, I think, kind of difficult to build that all up, but I think it definitely has a lot of potential, and it's a it's something that even without the decentralized apps would be beneficial for users. So even if all the blockchains disappear, this still would be an interesting project with a future. So this is what basically CardStack is. It allows users to easily build these cards from different types of software into one application and just use that without worrying what's under the hood. Also, it allows through their card token to pay all these software providers for their input into that card. So you don't need to manage different subscriptions to cloud services. You don't need to buy licenses. You just buy that card token, which is a utility token that allows you to use these different software products, and based on the usage, on how much you use them, you will need to pay in the card token. And then through smart contracts, the software providers, the software creators get rewarded for their work. What's also interesting is that CardStack is bringing different type of open source developers and letting them monetize their code. So right now there's plenty of code that is written, and there's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's already plenty of code, plenty of open source code that can be reused for different types of software, and developers can write these different workflows and just link different types of applications into a one card that a user sees. So there's user identification, storage, whatever, all different kinds of code libraries that go into the code, into the final application. All that is linked. A developer can link all that stuff, and then you have the final product. So all participants in the network, everyone who's creating these applications, the smart contracts, the workflows, the code libraries, even if they are open source, are getting rewarded by this type of project. So with centralized operations, for example, in Microsoft Azure, everything is closed up. They need you to subscribe. They need to use only your products. Maybe they lack something, then you need to subscribe to someone else. So with CardStack, you have everything in one place. You have the power to customize your cards. If you are a developer, you can, if you need a storage in your card, you can either use a centralized storage version, or if it works out for you, you can plug in the decentralized storage or decentralized computing, or whatever different types of applications come into play in the upcoming months into the market. So this is a very neat layer that will simplify everything for the end users and will help all these applications, all these decentralized software to grow. So I think that's enough about the technology. I think it's definitely a unique product, and it really sounds very good from the idea. And they have already done a lot of development. Overall, the project seems very, very professional. They have done a lot of intros of video that I recommend looking up at. Also, the white paper is very good. You can read it as a web page. It has different chapters. It has a lot of images. Um, so it is very, very professional. So they also have a bunch of different documents for getting deeper into all the mechanisms of rewards for the developers, how they are going to be calculated, and stuff like that. Foundational documents, the vision paper, rewards model, then the technology. So basically, they are creating a app framework, uh, aggregations protocol, ecosystem token. So basically, this is a protocol for creating these different cards that are a card basically is an app uh, created from different smaller software that has already been written. So basically, it's a card is created from small chunks of different software. So future benefits. So developers will be able. So let's read that out. For developers, use our comprehensive software development kit to build powerful, beautiful, extensible apps. In other words, a card. Access a deep library of powerful drop-in functionality. So everything is open source, all these workflows, it's all going to be very easy for the developers to build new stuff and then improve your app experience using CardStack's off-chain aggregation, get paid fairly by our community-run payment and governance algorithm. So if you are an open source developer, usually you're not getting that paid, maybe some donations or something, but with CardStack, everyone is a paid user and everything gets rewarded as it should be. Get reimbursed for your material costs, so for computing resources and stuff like that, for storage, that's 100% covered. Keep things 100% open source, so even if you are open source in giving away your code, you will still be paid if someone is using your part. For example, you created an algorithm for something, and someone else uses it in their project, and you get paid when someone uses their card, even if you created a very low level component. And if that component is used in a lot of cards, you get different rewards from all of them. So this is very beneficial for developers. And then for the end users, mix and match multiple decentralized apps and cloud apps. So for the end user is not just locked up to use decentralized applications or just cloud applications. You can get different chunks from everywhere, and they all are created into cards. Create amazing new workflow and app combinations using CardStack Hub. Use one token card that forms retainer agreements with all the services you need. So you can either use the card token, or you will be able to even buy it through fiat. So you don't need to be a crypto enthusiast. They want easy user onboarding, and they don't want to um, have people learn how to use wallets, etc., etc. So it's going to be a very good user experience, even though that it will be using a crypto token. Keep your data sovereign or transmit it anywhere easily with our card-based user experience. Get started quickly with fiat currency, no crypto expertise required. So yeah, those two intertwine. And then different kinds of applications. the video I showed you that I definitely recommend watching. The project founder and the whole team is over here that you can look at. Their partners, the token mechanism. It's not too important in my opinion. There's going to be two tokens, dual token system. The main one is going to be the card token that you can trade, exchange, etc. But when you use different software from your CardStack, the token will be converted into their SSC token, which will have a value of $1 or 1 cent, or no, for $1 you will get 100 SSC tokens, and basically that is a locked up amount. It's not going to change, so that software developers will know how much to charge in dollar value and not in some fluctuating token. So it's going to be pegged to the dollar. So that's how it will work. So overall, the card token can jump up in value, but even if it's $12, then you spend 1/12 of the token to get 100 these SSC tokens that you then use to get access to the software. So that's that, and we have scrolled everything over here. And the thing that I wanted to share from the white paper is the roadmap. For some reason they did not include this on the front page. So right now they have developed a lot of stuff which is already released on Git as open source code that you can check out. There's a lot of development, a lot of commits in their GitHub, and they are very active in the development side, available to early adopters, CardStack for users. So that's happening in 2018. They are currently working on all this stuff right now, and in 2019 they want to be ready for businesses to start developing stuff, onboarding more users. So overall they don't have a too long of a roadmap. It's clear and concise, but overall there are a lot of pieces inside of the roadmap, as you can see. And next I want to talk about the tokenomics of the whole process of the crowd sale. I think it's only in the white paper, so the fundraiser. So the main thing is that I did not like. Okay, not this, or maybe it's the token allocation, crowd fundraiser, or economics. It seems to have I think it's being changed right now at the moment, because I just read it like a half hour ago, and all these were quite different. So the foundation will distribute 40% of the total CardStack tokens that will be generated at the token generating event. Early contributors, did they change that up? I might be skipping this part because it seems to be changing up right now, and maybe I will do a different video. But overall, before they said that there will be like 20% and within time they will do different airdrops. Let's just do a organization, economics. No, it should be all, that info should be all in here. Community building. That's very interesting. Yeah, so 2% there will be airdrops, 40% for public. This definitely was just 30%, so that definitely got changed up. But yeah, so that basically gets rid of a problem. I saw a problem because they were planning to sell 5% in the pre-sale, 15% in the public sale, so overall 20%. Then do another 10% with airdrops, and overall that would have been 30% for general users. So not that good, because the company still has a lot of tokens that they would have planned to release within years. But right now they have changed it up and it looks pretty neat. So 40% for the public. That's very good. They will have strategic airdrops. An airdrop is going to be for Ethereum holders, then an airdrop for developers that have linked to their GitHub. So basically, if you are an active developer, you will be able to get an airdrop of CardStack tokens as well. Then there's going to be airdrops for early adopters of CardStack. And then there's the usual stuff that other tokens goes for the company, all the vesting periods, when the tokens will be released, pretty standard stuff. So yeah, and for participating, there will be limits. So if you are a small investor, you will be able to participate because there will be limits on how much tokens you can buy. So this is like a protection from whales that buy all the tokens and can then try to manipulate the price of the token. But there's still going to be inflation which is going to be capped at 4%, which comes from the mining. So yeah, though 4% is not a lot, and that's the max cap that can happen, but it can be even lower. So that are the tokenomics. The team, so the founder has a bachelor's in computer science, Columbia University, co-founder of MoneyGraph and Dot Blockchain, lead developer, creator of Liquid Fire, formerly MIT Media Labs, master in computer science, MIT, SR blockchain developer, senior blockchain developer, MoneyGraph, CardStack project, formerly McGraw-Hill Education, bachelor's in mathematics and computer science. So yeah, the team seems solid. Data scientists, UX lead designer. The team is not too big. Overall, I now see a tendency with ICOs that they are not even showing their whole team, so that other companies don't start to steal them from them. And there is a lack of developers overall. But yeah, they seem to have a pretty neat team. And this is all I wanted to cover for CardStack. So I might do another video because there seems to be a lot of stuff still happening and updated, and I might do another video to just update for the whole ICO process and stuff like that. But overall the technology should not be changing. And yeah, this is a very interesting project. There is not a lot of hype about it, which is very good because you can get early and get a good share of the tokens if you would want so. But yeah, the potential, I see great potential for this project, and overall I think it is going to be a highly successful ICO. So this is it for this video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe and I will see you in the next one.